joining me for another edition of the Perfect Wedding Guide's very own internet TV show called The Wedding Zone. I am Lisa Marie Benz, your host, and I am so excited to be here today. You just don't know what you're in for, but I also have to tell you, brides, that the purpose of the show is to show you exactly what our fabulous advertisers do. And be sure to check out everything we offer by going to perfectweddingguide.com, and you will see all of our advertisers. And be sure to check out all the shows at youtube.com/PWG TV show. And let me welcome to the show Daniel Thompson of Daniel Thompson Bridals. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us today. We just love everything you do. You know that, right?
Hey, Lisa, it's so nice to be here with you today.
And we're sitting here with your tools, right? How great is that? So tell the brides exactly how you got started in this wonderful industry.
Well, I've been doing this, believe it or not, for 30 years. I started in New York City, and I stayed there for a year and a half while I went to design school. I'm sorry, it wasn't a year and a half, it was 3.5 years. I went to design school, and then I moved directly to Boston. I worked for Priscilla of Boston, who at that time was the most well-known bridal designer in the business. And I was fortunate enough to be there working, and I stayed there for a few years, and then I decided that I wanted to go back to New York, where I'd been to school, and work in the garment center there. And I worked for a few manufacturers there for probably 8 years, and then I went on my own, and I've been on my own ever since.
And we should say you landed here in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. You're at 128 San Marco Avenue.
Right.
How wonderful is that?
That's right.
Now, the brides, I mean, this is so unique what you do, because you actually sit down with the bride and you customize, you draw out their vision of what they want.
Absolutely. I meet with the brides, and many come in with different things. Some come in with a whole portfolio of 1 million pictures of things they like. They like a neckline, they like a sleeve, they like a waistline, they like a fabric, they like an embroidery, they like a belt. And we just create the whole dress around everything that they like. And I show them fabric and lace while they're here so they can make the selections. And then normally I'll give a bride a price. And if the price is agreeable with her, what we do is we take her measurements. And then I first make the gown for her in muslin, which is an inexpensive fabric, so she can see the shape of the dress. And we actually, right on her body, we'll cut the neckline on the dress exactly how she wants it to be. So she actually has a feeling of the shape of the dress before we even make her real dress. And she can make any adjustments she wants to do. Then we start to make the real gown, and we have as many fittings in the real gown as it takes to get it complete.
Okay, so now we've moved to Daniel Thompson's very own cutting table, where this is where you kind of lay out the dress and do all the alterations and everything.
Right, this is where all the fabric gets laid out. This is also the table where I make everybody's pattern. And you can see right here, perhaps in the camera, hundreds of patterns for brides and various styles of gowns that we have. And this is a place, the most important table in the place.
Well, we've seen these all on Project Runway.
Oh, yeah.
So now tell the brides how long it usually takes to get a dress. Once they sit down and you etch it out, what would you say the lead time would be?
Yeah, I'd say an average, give at least 4 to 8 months at least. There are exceptions. If a bride comes in and she has a rush wedding for one reason or another, if we have the fabric and the lace in stock, whatever she needs, we can come through with the dress much faster. But normally, if you have to order lace from France or fabric from Italy or whatever, it can take months and months to even get that here to start working with. So I would say, brides, give yourself time, if at all possible.
Okay, so what happens if a bride's weight changes drastically?
That's not a problem, Lisa, because usually when I'm doing my bride's gowns here, we have many, many fittings up until the wedding. And we usually don't even do the final fitting until very close to the wedding. And if there are size adjustments, it can all be handled then before any major alterations have to take place. So it's not a problem at all.
Okay, great. I'm sure brides will love to hear that. And do you do alterations here yourself?
Absolutely.
Just you, absolutely. Your little hands do them?
My hands do it, and when I need help, I have help. So
okay,
we're good.
Great. Okay, so now we are in the room that Daniel Thompson meets his brides with. It's called the Daniel Thompson Showroom. Yay, so Daniel, why don't you do what you do best and show us some of the gowns that you have here.
Will do.
With description and all.
Okay, a bit of a description. Okay. This is a silk satin ball gown, very, very full skirt, hoop underneath with gorgeous, gorgeous embroidery. It's done with crystals and stones. And then we have the crystal and stones here in the pickups. But now, of course, if a bride came to me and she said, I hate that skirt, I want a regular plain skirt, that, of course, is the least of our concerns because that's just what we do. Each gown is being made for the bride. So that's one of our beautiful dresses. And then we have very traditional type dresses here. It's a strapless lace with silk satin and a beautiful lace bolero for a bride to put on if it gets chilly or if she wants to be a little more modest in the church.
Beautiful. I love the variety.
And then we have more silk satin with lace and more embroidery. We do some champagne antique gold type colors with various kinds of lace. This is a Venice lace with alencon lace with crystals added on top of it, which gives it a three-dimensional effect, which is very important nowadays. We go to a whole nother stage when we do the Victorian type dresses like this.
Oh, wow.
Totally, totally different customer.
Yes, definitely.
We love it.
And all of this is hand done?
This is all hand done.
Wow,
totally hand done.
amazing.
Then we have the big ball gowns with the shirred bodices, which are quite lovely and flattering.
Love the ruching.
This is silk taffeta. Many brides want to do a little bit of bling because bling is popular now. So we have fabulous bling that we can put in under here, and it makes it a totally different dress when you do that.
Oh, yeah.
Totally different.
Neat idea.
Then you have a gorgeous all lace gown with a crystal belt.
Beautiful. And that's a nice little accent bling piece, too.
Yeah.
Great.
And this asymmetrical draping is very popular and flattering for
Very
all brides.
slenderizing, right? Because, you know, it's all about the bride and her
It's all about
hourglass
the bride.
figure.
You see my little sign there. Maybe you can see it in the camera.
It's all about the bride. Okay, and what about this one here?
This is a beautiful alencon lace with a silk organza skirt trimmed in gorgeous alencon lace to match with a very beautiful 4-inch satin ribbon tie.
Now, if a bride wants to do a black accent, no problem?
Oh, no, not at all.
Green, red, anything. Okay.
Anything.
Because, you know, I realize a lot of brides are adding a lot of splash of colors
Absolutely.
here and there.
See here I have the sage on here,
Right.
the sage belt.
And over here, what do we got?
We have a very interesting dress. It's actually putting different things together. This is a beautiful beaded lace right here with crystals and pearls. And then we also have it done with an embroidered silk shantung. And we have the beautiful silk flowers here that are rolled by hand with accents of the beaded lace in the middle. Very flattering look like this. Very flattering. And here we have a beautiful gown. Let me turn it around for you.
Ooh la la.
This is a beautiful tulle skirt with a champagne ribbon. And this is lined with the nude. And it's a very important dress, very important. It has nude, it has silk organza, it has chantilly lace, it has alencon lace, it has beaded alencon lace. It has all different things. It's quite beautiful and special.
Well, I just know that a lot of brides are going to definitely want to come meet with you and, of course, work out something. How does a payment plan work, and what kind of forms of payment do you work with?
It's very flexible because we work in so many stages. I don't require 50% down like a regular store because the way I'm working is different than a store works. And usually I just require about a 1/3 deposit. And then when they come and they have their muslin fitting, they need to have half the dress paid. And then the rest is paid by the time they take the dress. Truthfully, most brides like to make a little payment each time they come in, which is great. Very flexible.
Yeah, well, that's great because, you know, all brides mainly are, you know, putting deposits down everywhere. So
That's the truth.
That's nice to know that you work with them.
Yeah.
So what about the fabrics? How does that all work? I mean, do you recommend to them? What if they have an idea that they want a burlap sack? Let's just say.
Then I try to change their mind and make them into a silk sack.
But I have a feeling you can make anything look good with a burlap sack.
Well, I don't know.
I have a feeling. And so do you create any other gowns other than for bridal?
I frequently have a mother of the bride that's interested in having a dress done, and I do that for her. Bridesmaids, not very often, because I'll tell you, bridesmaids' prices in the stores are very, very reasonable. And my prices, being custom made, of course, have to be much more than you'd pay in a store for a bridesmaid dress. So most bridesmaids I don't do, but mothers definitely. And then I do formal wear too, ball gowns and so forth. I do christening dresses. I do bar mitzvah dresses and bat mitzvah dresses.
And like flower girls, a little,
I'll do the flower girls too. Sure, absolutely.
Great. And do you have dresses here that the brides can try on?
Well, I have about this many dresses here at all times because my dresses are constantly traveling to various salons where I go to do trunk shows. Okay. And so there are dresses to try if the bride wants to, absolutely.
Okay, now what happens if a bride walks in and she just falls in love with a dress like this one? Can she buy this off the rack if it fits?
It depends on the dress, very honestly. If it's an old style that I'm fine letting go of, that's absolutely fine. But normally if a bride has the time to do a dress and has the budget to do a brand new dress, why not do a new dress?
Right, because it is your special day. It's a one-time event. That's why you want a very unique dress like Daniel Thompson Bridals. And I especially like the fact that you put your own little signature in every dress.
Absolutely.
Every single one has your signature on it. And we're not talking like a stamper. It's your real signature.
Real signature.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, how do you prefer brides contact you? Make an appointment on your website?
I have to work by appointment. Okay. Everybody's by appointment only because, you know, I travel so much.
Right.
Three weekends out of the month, I'm usually away. So I'm very limited time-wise. And, you know, brides love weekends to shop.
Right.
So I'm really better during the week. And it's much more flexible during the week.
Okay. And the phone number to reach you at
My phone number is 904-217-7982. And you could also look at DanielThompsonBridals.com. And you can see some things and some more information.
Right. Yeah, you got a great website that shows a lot of these dresses, too.
A lot of these are on it, and there's about 50 more.
Great. Now, do you like brides to email you for an appointment or just call you?
I prefer a call.
Okay. And also, I noticed on your website there is that contact area where a bride can fill it out. And
they can do that.
Okay.
They can absolutely do that, but I love talking to the brides one-on-one. So.
Great. And I should mention, too, that Daniel is doing a lot of the Perfect Wedding Guides bridal shows here in the Jacksonville, St. Augustine area. And you've got to come see it. It's awesome. He does a great job. And he's up there emceeing and describing every gown to a T because, after all, he created it. So he knows. Great. Well, thank you, Daniel.
Thanks,
now,
Lisa. So nice to see you
yeah, definitely. And all the brides, be sure to come see Daniel at all of our Perfect Wedding Guide bridal shows coming up. Just go to pwgtv.com to see where all the bridal shows are going to be, and you can pre-register to save a few bucks. So anyway, well, thank you so much, brides, for watching our awesome show here. And be sure to tell all your friends, and definitely come see Daniel Thompson here at 128 San Marco Avenue in beautiful historical St. Augustine, Florida. And make it a great bridal day. Happy shopping. Bye-bye.